So you're in tech sales. You're an account executive.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things people want to know is how much do you make?
Okay, we'll get right into it.
Yeah, you're like right into it.
So, no, I know I'm very open about my pay. I think pay transparency is super important, especially in tech sales. What I love about my job is that when you're in sales to make money.
Yeah, definitely.
So a company wants to hire you because you're going
to help them make money.
Yeah, you're making them money. So they want someone who's hungry and who wants to, make a lot of money for themselves, because that usually equates to more sales in general.
Yeah.
So how much I make. So I like to start off straight out of college when I first started my role, because I've been in the same, I've been in tech sales since I left college. So initially, I started off making $90K, so a pretty high base actually.
Okay,
the 90K base and my
wow.
OTE, which is called an on-target earnings. So OTE is essentially your base pay plus your commissions, and that translates to OTE. So it's essentially like what you would make in a year if you were to achieve your quota at 100%.
Yeah.
So my base pay was $90K. I was in New York City, so it's a high cost of living city.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Okay, yeah.
So definitely, they accounted for just how expensive everything is. So my base pay was $90K, and then my OT was $135K.
Okay.
So
that's
it's a really good amount
good,
straight away.
especially starting out.
Yeah, starting out. I was going to say, and I tell people this because, again, it's truthful, but usually that's not the case. Normally, I think the OT is around $90K usually.
Yeah.
But it is very possible to make
when you started out at that, were you an account executive, or did you start out at
No,
SDR?
I was an SDR. So I actually did a
crazy.
6-month, my company had a 6-month training program before you joined a team, and then were the SDR for that team. So I was very lucky in that sense. So as an SDR, after the 6-month training program, I did 6 months as an SDR for my team.
Yeah.
And then I got promoted afterwards. I did really well for that team, and I got promoted. And then I became what's called an SMB account manager / I would say account executive, but more so I worked with small to medium-sized businesses. And my base pay ended up moving up to $95K. And then my OT was $171,000. So already after about a year, I was like, wow, like you can really make some money in
I want
this
to pause
job.
real quick because this is crazy. Like legit, not even just for the watchers and listeners, but even for myself. Like I'm learning a lot right now, because usually when people hit me up talking about SDR, BDR roles, I tell them, okay, well, starting out, you might be looking to make about 65 to 85K. And I've never heard of mind you, I'm not in tech sales, so I'm not even saying this is rare. I'm just saying that it's great to hear that, wow, you can make like really good money, SDR, BDR.
And again, that is not the norm, so you're right. But what I tell people though is that even if you're starting off making 65 to 85K, which is a great
that's still good
salary,
money. That's
good money, great money. The fact that you have the option to get promoted so quickly, again, 6 months to a year, that is what you should be focused on. Because I went from, let's just say I was making 85K, I still would have been promoted and got into the range of making the 170,000 OTE. So that's why I tell people that you have to think of, I don't want to say the long term, because it's not long term. It's 6 months to a year. But think of like, okay, that's my goal, is I want to make it to account exec after my initial role as an SDR. So I put in a lot of work as an SDR, got promoted. And then just recently, back in, I think April, seems like a long time ago, even though, this year has gone by so quickly. Now I'm making, my base pay is $144,000 and my OT is around, I think, 220,000. So
that's incredible.
Or plus, even more. So like I said, what I love about being in tech sales is that your pay is essentially uncapped. Like the amount of work you put in, you get to reap those financial benefits. So that's what I love about it. So yeah, my target is 220,000. But if I were to, kill my quota and sell more than expected, I can make even more than that.
Yeah.
So I tell people that I'm so grateful at my age, being 25 years old, to be able to make that kind of money. It's just amazing to me. So